Happy Saturday! Welcome to the Heavy Metal Noise channel. I am your host, the Heavy Metal One himself. How's everybody doing on this fabulous weekend? It is a cloudy, rainy, snowy afternoon here in the West Desert. And I tell you what, I'm tired of it already. It's been such great weather. Been in the 40s for a winter in Utah. That is astounding unless you live in southern Utah where it is a little warmer. But, oh, you don't even want to go outside unless you're a snowboarder, skier, whatever, things like that. I am not. Those of you who might know from past videos, I actually am originally from Las Vegas, Nevada, so I like the warmth. I like the desert heat. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope you all are having a great day. I don't know if you are enjoying our new sense of, how would you say, leadership. Whether you're on the right, left, in the middle, it doesn't matter to me. It is exciting, as I have stated numerous times. I am not gung-ho on one single person. I am merely just excited for a change to see the new beginnings of different types of things that may be able to influence those in need, which there's a lot of us. So I took down some notes. I wasn't planning on making a video today, but I thought I would. Read a couple of articles I thought might be video worthy for you guys. As you can see, I pulled out the infamous couple of grams of gold that I do own. We'll get to that, along with the rest of these amazing silver bullion and numismatic, if you will, collectible coins, sovereign coins, things like that. Amazing. Some of my really sought after coins that I've bought in the past. And most of you know how proud of these I was, the Libertads. I got the 5 of the 1 ounce, and I really showed off the 5 ounce Libertad that I got. Limited mintage of only 8,900. So yeah, the 1 ounce was, if I remember, at 300,000. So I do believe you can still find those. And the majority of these, except for the Geiger well, I'm not so sure about the 2020 Tree of Life. Those two, I know for sure the Geiger well is really difficult to find, but the rest of these you can still find, depending on what sources if you just do a little bit of digging. So how about we get to it, huh? So, sources, and what I've done a little digging through, I have found this source in exact from off of Zero Hedge, that the lottery obsession is taking a toll on our culture. And I think it's kind of noteworthy to really think about that for a second. What is the lottery up to? It's an astonishingly amount of money right now. I don't even know the exact number. Over 900 million or something like that. The Mega Millions. And I have a couple of coworkers that play it. They drive up to Wyoming to get some tickets, and every once in a blue moon, I think I've only drove up one time to do it, and it's really just a nice little road trip. Get out and, sightsee the beautiful scenery of Utah and up there in Wyoming. A very small portion of Wyoming, but it is very relaxing. And stop off at a little gas station in Evanston and get a couple of lotto tickets. Like I said, I've only done it one time. I'm not a real big believer in getting lucky for a lottery, but you know what some say, you can't win if you don't play. Well, I prefer not play and keep my money, and we'll get to that. Part of this article gets on that. People who can least afford it, get this, spend around $5 to $10 per week on lotto tickets. People who can least afford it, $5 to $10 a week on average. So we got an epidemic here in the United States. Food lines wrapping around corners. People really having a hard time feeding their kids, putting food on the table, not knowing how to pay their next bill, their rent, their car payment, things of this nature. And but they have the money to go out and spend $5 to $10 a week on lottery tickets. in big hopes of striking it huge, right? I mean, what happens in the end game here? Because obviously, the vast majority of people don't win. And yeah, you can hit a couple of numbers and, score a couple $100 here or there. Okay, good for you. But how many hundreds of dollars did you dump into it to get that? All right, did you come into the profit range at all? The bottom fifth of income earners spent the most, more than double of richer players, of the top rich players. It comes out to, they break it down on numbers, roughly around $433 versus those who actually have a substantial amount of wealth, $193 per year. So let's just, we can make this simple. $433 a year. What could you do with that? If you're not a lottery player, you can. This is probably easier for you as opposed to those who are not. I should say who are players. What could you do with $433 right now? I want you to comment down below, okay? How much? What would that mean to you? A $433 check. Whether maybe you're out of a job, maybe a spouse has lost their job, maybe you got medicine to pay for, maybe you got a car payment, insurance, registration, the gas bill, the light bill. How about groceries? What would that money do for you right now? I could tell you right now, I'm very frugal. I am far, by no means of the imagination, rich. I'm probably like most of you. I'm not poor, but I'm far from rich. I have a very, how would you say? I don't want to say a low income, but compared to the next guy, probably it's I'm below. I'm right on the cusp of the lower middle class, and so I know exactly what I could do with it. What are these people who are spending all this money on lotto tickets doing? What if they could have that money back? This is why I ascertain and emphasize right here. Hard assets. That $433 could go out and spend. You could spend on just the silver all by itself. You would be able to pick up more than this right here. You could go out and actually $433 would pick you up all of this easily. At the time, I picked up the grams of gold, I believe, for $70 each. Some of these other coins, it doesn't matter. I'm getting off topic here with numbers, but even still, I know for a fact for $433 would get you almost 20 ounces of silver all by itself. And when this system finally decides that it can no longer hang on, they can no longer manipulate these precious metals, I have an example I'll tell you about. This is going to go astronomical. One of these coins, no matter if it's one of these, very limited mintage coins or not, if it's just a simple round, you're going to get, it's going to be worth 433 times that lotto ticket. No doubt about it. There's no doubt. The days are coming. And so you need to protect yourself. If you are in if you're comfortable on your finances, I have nothing against people playing the lottery. It's fun. I get it. The thrill of, hey, it could happen. You never know. But when you're in a position where you're struggling to pay the bills, you're struggling to put food on the table, you can't afford to put gas in your vehicle, but you can drive down to the gas station or outlet who does the tickets to buy $433 a year on tickets. I don't understand it. I can't wrap my mind around it. I was raised with not so much as a saver mentality, but to know what's going on with your finances. Be responsible. It's called adulting, as it was told to me by a wise man once. Adulting is not always fun, but in the end, it leads to being able to have protection, possibly enormous wealth in the future. Okay, while we the masses of society have been pretty much indoctrined to be consumers, spend, use credit, run the credit cards up, keep spending money they don't have. Okay, $433 a year. Just, write a small list down in your head. What could that take care of this month for you, this week? It's a shocking number. And so how many people out there who've, like I said a few minutes ago, lost their jobs and that, it could really help a lot of people out, could help their kids. Another one from Zero Hedge today. New Yorkers flee the city for the suburbs. Now, the suburb that in particular it's actually talking about is the small town of Greenwich, Connecticut. A shortage of Greenwich, Connecticut homes go into fierce bidding wars. Okay. We'll elaborate on this, because, sure, any town that can happen to, right? Even that statement alone, I don't understand. Buyers are willing to pay, get this, 14% above asking, compared to 2.6% above asking price in 2019. Now, where's this money coming from? We have in 2 weeks, the jobless numbers this week were 900,000. The week before, over 16,000. Who's buying all these homes? Okay. We have unemployment lists astronomical above all-time records. Jobless claims every week for 11 months have beaten the previous United States record of over 600,000. If I remember it, that was in the Great Recession. We hit 1 week of over 600,000. Since this pandemic of, I believe, when it really smacked America in the face in April, we've had over easily 600, 700, 800,000 plus every week. So we have skyrocketing unemployment numbers. We got food lines wrapping around buildings. We got, you name it. We got foreclosures coming up. Evictions. Well, under this new administration, thank goodness for those in dire need of protection against evictions and rent moratoriums, are going to be able to kick the can down the road just a little bit longer. But this has to come to a head. Who's buying up these homes in this small town of Greenwich, Connecticut? Is it hedge funds? Is it those who are pretty wealthy buying them up out of New York? From what the article reads, the New Yorkers are the ones fleeing to this small town. And surrounding towns obviously around it. Are they coming from California? I'm just trying to put the puzzle together. No, homes are going up in record prices and sales. A lot of the times you're not being told how these numbers are configured. They are counting refis as a sale as well. But sales. Who's got the money to buy a home at this point? Who's got the money to afford rent at this point? For a huge percentile of America are struggling. We were lucky to get by, for a huge percentage of America, getting by week to week, paycheck to paycheck. Now you're lucky to get by paycheck to paycheck if you got one at all. So these homes that are exploding down there in this small town of Connecticut, the sales in Greenwich are up 141% in the fourth quarter from 2019. It's the fastest selling pace in 7 years. I just, none of this makes sense to me. If you guys have any inclination, if you live in that area, maybe you're a real estate broker, if you're a resident in New York, Connecticut, throw me a comment down below. If maybe, I get a lot of education from those of you who chime in on, who do tune in. The information that, aside from me seeking it out, comes from you guys. You are the ones out there across the country that can tell me what's going on in your small towns, in your big towns. Stores closing, mom and pop shops closing down after years and years and years and generations of being around. Maybe your town is doing very well. Maybe this town of Greenwich, Connecticut is not being hit too bad at all by this economic just annihilation. I don't know. But I do know it is a really small town, and New Yorkers cannot afford to live in New York anymore, and they are getting out of Dodge. So throw your thoughts and comments below and tell me what you think. Give me your opinion on how this is happening. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Because I welcome all opinions. That's the great thing about this country. We agree to disagree. Maybe we'll agree to agree. Who knows? But I know the vast majority of you who do watch my channel, you're awake, you know what's going on, and you probably, like me, are just being mind boggled by these numbers. Like, you can't even wrap your head around it. Who's buying this stuff? So this is another reason why I pulled out the gold to some of my special silver. Special. It's just some of the silver that I really enjoy, that I really sought after. But one day, this is going to be your fortune, your wealth. If nothing else, it's going to hedge your inflation, because we are printing money unbelievably, ungodly. And the forces that be are not worried about it. They've already been taken care of, okay? It's folks like me and you, your next door neighbor, the guys down the street, around the corner, whatever, who don't realize the real powers, how much power they actually have. So we got to stay strong. We got to stay focused and stay the course. Protect yourself. Protect yourself. Okay? Because when I was going to mention a example, this silver and gold right here, they are able to manipulate this still, for the time being. Now rhodium, look up rhodium on precious metals. See what an ounce of rhodium cost you now. When I looked, it was $20,000. $20,000. What is rhodium really used for? I know there's a very light coating of rhodium on my wife's wedding ring. I mean, it's next to nothing, but it's just brushed on there. Rhodium, I know it's very minute, used in, industrial, but nowhere near like silver is. But here's the thing. I truly believe with 100% they lost control in the manipulation of rhodium, and it went and it ran and it ran and it went hog wild. They couldn't suppress it no more. Why? Who's behind it? I mean, it's just the real value and evaluation of precious metals. When they do lose control of this, the train's going to be flying off the tracks, and there ain't going to be no stopping it. Okay? That's why I highly always emphasize, not everyone can afford gold. I choose not to. This is, here every once in a while, like I said, it's the only 2 grams that I own of gold. Maybe in the future I'll pick up more. But those who don't have a large bank account, which is most people nowadays, can afford those lotto ticket funds. $5 to $10 a week would easily go out and get an ounce of silver. Right now, silver is $25.50 an ounce. Okay? 2 weeks of spending on a lotto ticket that you got better odds of getting hit by lightning. Yeah, you heard that right. You got better odds of getting hit by lightning than some of these odds of this super mega $1 million lottery ticket. Get you some silver. 2 weeks of that spending on that lotto would have already gotten you at least one, which is going to far exceed the price of the dollar, and it already has. Silver's outperformed the dollar. It rose 47% last year among all commodities, assets, corn, oil, lumber, things of that nature, sugar, you get the gist. Silver was the 4th highest performing asset at 47% rise. So if you bought silver last year, the year before, even years prior, you did very well. Now those people who spent all that money on that lottery ticket, $433 down the road in a year, I don't think they got much to look at now, do they? Unless they're that one person who won, and I highly doubt it. because statistically it's always the ones who play less that win. So, guys, you guys know what's happening. This is a life jacket. This is a future for your children, future generations. It's never been worth zero, ever. All currencies have failed at least one time or another in every country. We are printing to an oblivion. Sure, I'm just because I agree with what's happening at this very second. There are so many families and people in need of the so-called stimulus and money from our federal government. Every established government in the world is taking care of their people except the United States. But that doesn't change the fact that there's going to have to be a lot of printing going on in order to do so, along with other programs that they want to institute. So, look for this to go up, as well as the gold. Look for it to go up and up. You will see pullbacks. There will be manipulation. But there is going to come a day that they can no longer suppress it, and they're going to lose control, just like rhodium. So get in while you can. Don't play the game of FOMO, the fear of missing out. You still have a little bit of time, but get your financial orders, get your financial affairs in order. Start getting some of this put away. It's a life jacket, and it's a necessity. And so I wanted to keep this video. It's actually gone longer than I wanted, but I really wanted to emphasize some of these to you, and I'm going to come back at you with some more, making more videos like this. It's not doom and gloom. There's some exciting times coming in 2021, but there's also going to be some scary times. So buckle up, get you some medals, and we'll touch on some other subjects and other news stories that I can bring you. Until next time, I will talk to you very soon. If you like the content, hit that thumbs up button, please. It helps the channel. I am sandboxed with the content that I provide. Spread that message to somebody. Blow it up all over your social media. Comment down below. Give me your opinion. Let me know what's going on in your area, your neck of the woods. Hit that notification bell if you want to be alerted anytime I release new content. And so with that, I wish y'all to have a great weekend. Spread some love. Tell the one you love the most you love them. Hug your kids. And we'll talk to you very soon, alright? Heavy metal noise, gonna go rock out. Thanks for watching.